the truth may surprise you. Most Americans use these spices every day. Sprinkled on eggs, stirred into coffee, or added to dinner, without realizing they may help prevent heart attacks. After age 60, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and chronic inflammation quietly damage your arteries day by day, almost without you noticing. But here's the paradox. Those very small spices in your kitchen may actually help protect your heart. Today, you'll discover 12 familiar spices, and especially spice number 3 is something you can actually feel working almost instantly, while number 1 is rarely used daily, yet incredibly powerful. So, are you using them the right way every day? And number 12, black pepper, the absorption booster. Most people ignore. It may sound strange, but black pepper, one of the most common spices in the kitchen, doesn't do much if you use it on its own. And this is what surprises many people. Black pepper isn't the main star, it's the amplifier. I once heard about a 68-year-old man in Texas. He started taking turmeric daily after hearing it was good for the heart and reduced inflammation. But after several months, he didn't notice much difference, until his doctor told him something simple. You're missing one thing: black pepper. Scientifically, black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which can dramatically increase the absorption of curcumin in turmeric. In other words, without this, turmeric barely works. Not only that, piperine also supports digestion, improves circulation slightly, and helps your body absorb many other important nutrients. The way to use it is very simple. Just add a small pinch of black pepper to your meals, especially when using turmeric or nutrient-rich foods. Sometimes, the thing that makes the biggest difference isn't what you add, but what you've been unknowingly leaving out. And once you understand that, you begin using spices more intelligently. Next, a familiar spice that can help stabilize blood sugar right from breakfast. Number 11, paprika, the gentle circulation booster, hiding in plain sight. There's something interesting. Many people think only strong spices like chili peppers or garlic have noticeable effects on heart health. But sometimes, the gentlest things bring the most sustainable results. Paprika, the red pepper powder often sprinkled on eggs, to potatoes or soup, is a perfect example. I remember a 72-year-old woman in Florida who shared that she couldn't handle spicy food, but still wanted to improve her circulation. She began adding a little paprika to her breakfast every day. Just a small change. After a few weeks, she noticed her hands and feet felt less cold, and her morning fatigue had significantly decreased. Scientifically, paprika is rich in carotenoids and vitamin A, compounds that help protect blood vessel walls and support circulation. It's not as strong as cayenne, but paprika works in a gentler way. Steady, long-term, and well-suited for older adults. The way to use it is simple. Sprinkle a little on eggs, soup, or roasted vegetables every day. Sometimes you don't need a big change, just a small habit. Repeat it every morning. And next, a spice you probably already have in your kitchen, but may not realize it can improve circulation every single day. Number 10, ginger, the daily circulation booster your body recognizes instantly. There's something fascinating. Your body often recognizes ginger even before you consciously think about it. That gentle warmth spreading through your throat, the heat moving down into your chest. That's not just a sensation, that's your circulation being activated. I once heard about a 70-year-old man in California. Every morning, he drank a cup of warm ginger tea. No sugar, nothing fancy. At first, he just did it to stay warm. But after a few weeks, he noticed something. His hands and feet felt less cold. The heavy feeling in his chest in the morning eased, and he found it easier to breathe while walking. Scientifically, ginger contains compounds like gingerol, which help reduce inflammation in blood vessels, improve circulation, and support mild blood pressure reduction. The important thing is, ginger doesn't work in a fast and intense way, but rather gently, steadily, and cumulatively over time, making it ideal for the body after age 60. The way to use it is simple. A warm cup of ginger tea in the morning, or add a few slices of fresh ginger to your meals. Sometimes, your body doesn't need complicated changes, just a small habit. Repeat it every day. If you find this information helpful, please like and subscribe to the Vital Egg Health channel so you don't miss videos that help you live healthier every day. And the best part is, you probably already have some of these spices in your kitchen, and just by using them correctly, you've already started protecting your heart. And next, a familiar breakfast spice that may help control blood sugar and protect your blood vessels more than you think. Number 9. Cinnamon, the blood sugar protector, hiding in your morning routine. There's a paradox many people don't realize. Something with a warm, sweet flavor, often found in pastries, coffee, or your morning oatmeal, is actually one of the quiet protectors of your heart. Cinnamon. I once heard about a couple in Ohio, both over the age of 65. Every morning they ate oatmeal and sprinkled a little cinnamon on top, simply because it tasted better. They never thought of it as a heart-healthy habit, until their doctor told them their blood sugar and cholesterol had improved significantly compared to the previous year. Scientifically, cinnamon may help stabilize blood sugar, reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and lower triglycerides. What's important is, high blood sugar isn't just related to diabetes. It also quietly damages blood vessel walls, increasing the risk of heart attacks over time. And cinnamon works like a gentle daily regulator. The way to use it is simple. 1/2 teaspoon in your morning coffee, tea, or oatmeal. Sometimes, protecting your heart doesn't start with big changes, but with your everyday breakfast routine. And next, a more powerful spice that can help lower blood pressure, but is used incorrectly in most kitchens. Number 8. Garlic, the natural blood pressure regulator. Most people use? Wrong. There's a surprising truth. Garlic, one of the most powerful heart-healthy superfoods, is often not used to its full potential in our own kitchens. So the problem isn't whether you use garlic. It's that you may be using it the wrong way. I once heard about a 66-year-old man in New York. He ate garlic almost every day, stir-fried, roasted, in soups. But his blood pressure didn't improve much, until he came across one simple piece of advice. Don't cook garlic immediately after cutting it. And that's when everything changed. Scientifically, garlic contains a compound called allicin, which helps dilate blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and improve circulation. This is a classic recommendation repeated across many reliable scientific sources. The enzyme alliinase only activates when garlic is crushed or chopped, and it needs time to interact with air to produce maximum allicin. If you put garlic straight into the pan, high heat will destroy this process. And the correct way to use it, crush or chop the garlic, wait 5 to 10 minutes, then cook it. A small change, but a big difference. Sometimes it's not that you're missing something, but that you haven't given your body enough time to activate the best part. And next, a more familiar, gentler spice that can improve circulation daily, especially suitable for older adults. Number 7. Oregano, the Mediterranean heart secret. Most Americans overlook. There's something many people don't notice. The countries with the lowest rates of heart disease in the world, like Greece and Italy, don't just use olive oil. They also use a lot of oregano every day. But in the US, oregano is often just lightly sprinkled on pizza, then forgotten. I once heard about a 69-year-old woman who began following a Mediterranean-style diet. She didn't do anything complicated, just added oregano to her salads, grilled meats, and soups every day. After a few months, her doctor noticed clear improvements in her heart health markers. Scientifically, oregano contains high levels of polyphenols and powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation in blood vessels, protect artery walls, and lower the risk of plaque buildup. What matters is, oregano isn't a quick fix, but part of a long-term lifestyle that supports heart health. The way to use it is simple. Sprinkle it on salads, meats, fish, or vegetables every day. Sometimes the secret to longevity isn't found in complicated things, but in small habits, repeated over time. And next, a bright yellow spice known as the king of anti-inflammation, directly linked to the root cause of heart disease. At number 6, turmeric, the anti-inflammation king most people use ineffectively. There's something many people don't realize. You may have been using turmeric for years, but not actually getting the benefits it offers. I once heard about a 71-year-old woman in Arizona. She started drinking turmeric milk every night after hearing it was good for joint inflammation and heart health. But after several months, there was almost no noticeable change. Until a nutrition expert asked her a very simple question: "Do you take it with black pepper?" The answer was no, and that was the key. Scientifically, turmeric contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory compound directly linked to reducing inflammation in blood vessel walls, the root cause of atherosclerosis. But the problem is, curcumin is very difficult for the body to absorb. Without black pepper, specifically the compound piperine, your body absorbs only a tiny amount. The correct way to use it: always combine turmeric with a pinch of black pepper and a bit of fat, like olive oil or milk. These three elements work together like an activation formula. Sometimes it's not that you're missing a good solution, but that you haven't activated it properly. And when you do, the results can be completely different. Next, a spice that's not only good for your heart, but also supports memory and brain function in surprising ways. Number 5. Rosemary, the heart and brain booster you didn't expect. There's something many people don't expect. A spice commonly used to season meat or roast chicken can actually support both your heart and your memory. Rosemary. I once heard about a 73-year-old man in Oregon, and after retiring, he started cooking at home more often, and rosemary became his favorite spice. Not for health reasons, but simply because he enjoyed the aroma. But over time, he noticed two things. He felt more alert in the mornings, and walking felt easier than before. Scientifically, rosemary contains compounds like rosmarinic acid, which help improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and support brain function. This matters because circulation doesn't just affect the heart. It determines how much oxygen reaches your brain every day. And when circulation improves, you're not just healthier, you're sharper too. The way to use it is simple. Add rosemary to roasted meats, fish, or vegetables daily. Sometimes a small change in how you cook can benefit both your body and your mind. Number 4, thyme, the hidden protector, working quietly in your kitchen. There's something easy to overlook. What doesn't stand out is often what you never think of as important. And thyme, a small herb often lightly sprinkled over dishes, is actually one of the quiet protectors of your heart. I once heard about a 72-year-old man in Arizona. He didn't make major changes to his diet. He simply started cooking at home more often and using more herbs, especially thyme. Nothing dramatic, until his next health check. His inflammation markers had decreased, and his doctor asked, "What did you change?" The answer was simple. "I just cooked more and used more spices." Scientifically, thyme contains thymol and flavonoids, compounds that can act as powerful antioxidants, reduce inflammation in blood vessel walls, and help protect arteries from long-term damage. What's important to understand is blood vessel damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds up silently over many years. And time works in the opposite way, quietly protecting you every single day. The way to use it is simple. Add it to soups, meats, or vegetables. Just a small pinch is enough. Sometimes the smallest changes are what create the biggest long-term impact. And next, a spice you won't just taste. You can actually feel it the moment it starts working. Number 3, cayenne pepper, the instant blood flow booster you can actually feel. There's something very different about this spice. You don't have to wait weeks. You can feel it almost immediately, and a warm sensation spreading in your mouth, then down your throat, and then gently throughout your entire body. That's not just heat. That's your blood flow being activated. I once heard about a 67-year-old man in Nevada. He started adding a small pinch of cayenne pepper to his soup every day. The first time he thought, that's too spicy. But a few minutes later, he noticed his body warming up, his hands and feet feeling less cold. And that sensation, repeated every day. Scientifically, cayenne contains capsaicin, a compound that helps dilate blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce the risk of blood clot formation. What makes it unique is, unlike many spices that work quietly, cayenne gives you a clear signal that it's working. The way to use it is simple. Just a small pinch in soup, eggs, or warm water is enough. Sometimes, what you need isn't a big change, but a clear signal that you're on the right track. And next, an incredibly powerful spice. With antioxidant levels so high, it surprises almost everyone. Number 2, cloves, the antioxidant champion. Almost no one uses daily. There's something very few people know. In the world of spices, there's a quiet champion, more powerful than many you already think are healthy. That is, cloves. But the problem is, most people only use it a few times a year, usually during the holidays. I once heard about a 70-year-old woman in Pennsylvania. She began adding a little clove to her evening tea, just for a warm, comforting flavor. She didn't expect much. But after some time she felt lighter, less fatigued, and her sleep became deeper. Scientifically, the cloves contain extremely high levels of antioxidants, especially a compound called eugenol, which helps protect blood vessel walls from damage, reduce oxidative stress, and support slowing the aging process of the cardiovascular system. What's important is oxidative stress is a silent destroyer, weakening your blood vessels year after year without you noticing. And cloves act like a powerful yet quiet shield. The way to use it is simple. Add a small amount to tea, coffee, or stews. You don't need much. Sometimes the most powerful thing is something you've almost never thought about using every day. And next, a rarer spice, used by very few people, yet capable of making a big difference for both your heart and your emotional well-being. And number 1, saffron, the most ignored heart protector that might change everything. There's a truth very few Americans know. One of the best spices for your heart is also one of the least used on a daily basis. Saffron. I once heard about a 68-year-old woman in California. After retiring, she began trying new habits to reduce stress, including drinking saffron tea a few times a week. At first, she thought of it as something relaxing, but over time, she noticed she slept better, felt less anxious, and the heaviness in her chest she used to feel in the evenings gradually disappeared. Scientifically, saffron contains compounds like crocin and safranol, which help improve circulation, reduce mild inflammation, and especially reduce stress. And here's something many people overlook. Stress isn't just an emotion, it's a major risk factor for heart disease. When you experience prolonged stress, your blood vessels constrict, blood pressure rises, and your heart has to work harder every day. Saffron works in a very different way. Not aggressively, not instantly, but by supporting both your body and your mind at the same time. The way to use it: just a very small amount. A few strands of saffron in warm tea or food is enough. Yes, it's more expensive than other spices, but sometimes what makes the biggest difference is what most people have never even considered using daily, and then maybe that's the missing piece in how you've been caring for your heart. Warning: common mistakes. But before you start adding these spices to your daily routine, there are 3 very common mistakes, and they can make all your efforts ineffective. The first mistake: using too little. A small pinch is sometimes not enough to create a noticeable impact, especially if you only use it occasionally. The second mistake: cooking at too high a temperature. Many beneficial compounds like allicin in garlic or curcumin in turmeric can be destroyed when exposed to high heat too early. And the third mistake, and the most important one: not combining them correctly. A classic example: using turmeric without black pepper, which means your body absorbs almost none of the curcumin. So remember, spices don't work overnight. They work with consistency. Not once, not for a day, but what you do repeatedly every day is what truly makes the difference. So here's a question for you. Which one will you start with? You don't need to change everything today. Just start with one and turn it into a daily habit. Start with just one today, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. I'd love to know which spices you're using for your health.